Wow, okay. So I know there are still plenty of you that actively play Blade & Soul. MRSSSTIX and I have always been avid fans of the game. We have done repeated videos on this game. We have streamed it for months at a time. It is a beautiful looking game with a really fun, engaging story, great combat, a really detailed world, but I mean, NCSoft is just such a bad publisher and a generally a bad developer that they've just absolutely destroyed the game. But I mean, at the end of the day, Blade & Soul is still fun, and it still has thousands of players that are actively playing it. But we're not here to talk about Blade & Soul. No, today, we're here to talk about Blade & Soul 2. Yeah, they're actually making Blade & Soul 2. I mean, at the same time, they're also making various different mobile versions of Blade & Soul, like Blade & Soul M, and like Blade & Soul MM, and Blade & Soul Super M, and whatever else they're coming up with. But Blade & Soul 2 is actually slated to be a direct sequel to Blade & Soul. This is a game that actually takes place after the events of Blade & Soul, the PC incarnation of Blade & Soul. Now, I went ahead and looked at the trailer for the game, and you know what? It looks so good. Like, seeing the characters, the character models, the environment, seeing characters engaging in combat, seeing the various character models in game, not cinematic, just seeing abilities used, seeing the environment and the various different areas we're going to be able to explore, seeing the group I mean, granted, I'm sure a lot of this is probably actually captured. This isn't in-game footage, it's probably rendered, pre-rendered, but I don't know, the game, it looks so good, and considering Blade & Soul looks as good as it does, and this game was released, what, 6 years ago, 8 years ago in Korea? This game could have been the biggest release of the 2020s, but this is where it goes to crap. Blade & Soul 2, which could be a huge MMO, is going to be released exclusively for mobile devices. And I know, guys, before you close out of the video there, I mirror your sentiment. This is going to probably be absolute garbage. But what I am curious of is why these South Korean developers are doing this. Like, if you just take a moment here and think, this is not the first time that they have done this with a game. As an example, a couple years ago, I actually did a video on Ion 2. It had been confirmed that they were working on a completely overhauled Ion MMORPG, and the trailer they released for the game, it looked incredible. It looked like such an upgrade to the Ion game that we had at the time. And then it was confirmed that Ion 2 was actually in development for mobile devices. And Blade & Soul 2, the trailer itself actually never states that it's being made for mobile. So they're releasing this trailer, they're releasing something that looks incredible, that is going to generate massive buzz and hype, but they're not telling you what platform it's going to release on until you go ahead and go onto their website, where it explicitly states that it is being made for mobile devices. Now, I personally feel like that's a little bit unfair to players, getting them excited for a game that they're not going to want to play. They're also taking an IP that already has a pre-established player base that is still fairly active and just throwing it onto mobile to milk it for as much money as they possibly can. Now, while this might ultimately end up being a successful mobile MMO like Lineage 2 Revolution or Lineage 2 M or the other Lineage 2 mobile games, or maybe even like the Soulworker mobile MMO or the Terra mobile MMO or the Black Desert mobile MMO, I just can't help but feel disgusted that they are taking all of these really popular South Korean PC MMORPGs and then just throwing them right onto mobile devices in a terrible copy-pasted form. And that is currently the state of the MMO market over in South Korea and over on mobile devices. And it is just, I don't know. A successful MMO, even a successful mobile MMO, should be innovating the genre. This is taking a step in the complete opposite direction, doing the exact opposite of what we should be doing. I can't believe that the South Korean developers just have absolutely no faith in their games. They do not care at all about their communities, their players that have invested months, years into the games. It's why I can't really ever fully support a South Korean MMO. At the same time, though, with all the Western indie MMO developers that have scammed players, I can't really trust any Kickstarter-backed MMOs either. But Yeah, I mean, for those of you that are interested in Blade and Soul 2, this game will be coming out sometime this year in 2021, and it might actually be coming out everywhere globally at the same time. And I know some of you guys over on our mobile channel, MMOByte Mobile, are in fact excited for this game, and good for you. But for those of us that wanted a PC sequel to Blade and Soul, heck, even wanted just an overhaul for Blade and Soul, this is a kick right in the groin. But that is just my opinion, my thoughts on Blade and Soul 2 and NCSoft and Ion 2 and Lineage 2 and all the other South Korean mobile sequels to popular PC MMOs. What do you guys think though? Let me know down in the comments below and let's talk about it. Anyway guys, that is it for me. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.